They say darkness is only the absence of light, but some darkness becomes alive, filled with screams, shadows, and restless souls. When a place absorbs enough pain, it never forgets. In a small town stood an old railway tunnel that everyone feared. Years ago, a horrific accident occurred. Deep inside it, when a passenger train caught fire and trapped everyone in pitch-black darkness. Their screams echoed for minutes before fading forever. And among the dead was Conductor Thomas, a man who desperately tried to save his passengers before dying in the flames himself. After the tragedy, the authorities sealed the tunnel, but every winter night people claimed they could still hear strange sounds, faint screams, the clatter of metal, and sometimes a cold whisper drifting through the air saying, "Tickets, please." Most people avoided the place entirely, but every town has a group of friends foolish enough to treat fear as a joke. In this town, that group was Ryan, Leo, Daniel, and Mark. One freezing night, as the town's power flickered, Ryan laughed and said, "Let's check out the tunnel. Let's see if this ghost story is real or nonsense." Despite their unease, the others agreed, half excited and half terrified. When they reached the entrance, a piercing wave of cold shot through their bones. The darkness inside didn't feel normal. It felt heavy, like something alive was breathing within it. Daniel switched on his flashlight, revealing rusty tracks, burned walls, and dust everywhere. But something was wrong. On the metal rails lay fresh, wet footprints leading deeper into the tunnel. Mark hesitated and whispered, "Guys, someone was just here." Ryan smirked and shrugged it off. But they all knew animals didn't leave perfect human footprints. As soon as they stepped inside, the air became unnaturally still. No wind, no echo. Even their breathing felt muted. Then a voice echoed through the darkness, slow, cold, and hollow. "Tickets, please." Leo froze. Before anyone could respond, two glowing eyes appeared in the distance. Their flashlight flickered, revealing a horrifying figure. A man in a burned conductor uniform. Half of his face melted, his eyes empty yet burning with hatred. It was Conductor Thomas. He stepped forward and whispered, "You're late. The last train doesn't wait for intruders." Panic surged through. Mark and he bolted into the darkness. A few seconds later, his scream echoed, and then silence. Only the soft vibration of metal beneath their feet remained. Daniel shouted Mark's name, but before he could move, a glowing silhouette of the burning train appeared behind him. A blinding flash struck his eyes, and by the time Ryan and Leo reached for him, Daniel had vanished. All that remained was his phone, still recording, playing a distorted whisper. "He died saving them. Now you will die for disturbing him." Terror spread like fire through the remaining two friends as the tunnel began to hum. The tracks trembled, and a faint horn echoed from somewhere deep inside. The ghost train was coming. Leo turned and saw the burning train's light approaching, the same cursed train that killed Thomas. He screamed and ran deeper into the darkness. Minutes later, Ryan heard a faint cry, and then nothing. Just cold, merciless silence. Now only Ryan remained. Conductor Thomas stepped closer, his charred boots scraping the metal, his voice colder than death itself. "You think this is a joke? I died trying to save my passengers. You entered without permission. Intruders are never forgiven." Ryan dropped to his knees, trembling, crying that it was only a dare. Thomas leaned close, his burnt face inches away, and whispered, "Accidents begin as dares." He raised his hand, and the tunnel erupted with blinding light and the deafening roar of the ghost train. Ryan's scream echoed until the darkness swallowed him whole. The next morning, police entered the tunnel. There were no bodies, no blood, and no signs of a struggle. But on the cold metal tracks, they found 4 fresh sets of wet footprints leading deeper into the sealed darkness. The tunnel was closed again permanently. Yet every winter night, the same haunting sounds returned. The screams, the rumble of a phantom train, and a faint whisper drifting through the frozen air. "Tickets, please."